Some of you can't imagine. It's prolonged. It's long. The desert can go on and on and on. A friend said to me recently, it's hard to persevere when you don't know how long you have to persevere. You don't know how long you'll have to go on. You can't see light at the end of the tunnel. And if you can, you're afraid it may be an oncoming train, There's darkness. You don't know how long it's going to be that you're going to have to persevere. And that's another characteristic of the desert. Now, I don't know what your desert is. You may have had past deserts. You may be in one now. If you're not in one now, you have one coming. I can assure you of that. I don't know how soon. It's just a matter of when, not if. But that desert may be a desert experience in your workplace, maybe a boss who's impossible to please. It may be the desert of loneliness, loss of friends, loss of loved ones. Perhaps you've had to make a difficult move and you feel isolated, alone in the desert. Maybe a desert of grief, loss of a mate, loss of close friends, loss of a child. And maybe the desert we've talked about of intense temptation, just some temptation that you are really battling. It's hard. Maybe it's spiritual dryness. You don't know why, but you're not experiencing the presence of God in the way that you once did. And you're not conscious of any sin. You're not conscious that you've turned your back on the Lord, but you open the Word and it's kind of like cardboard. And it's just doesn't seem to be speaking to you. Your desert may be loving a difficult child or loving difficult parents. Maybe a dad who's not there or who is not a communicator, doesn't express love. That may be a desert. Maybe it's having a special needs child. It may be that you're at some new stage of life. You have a firstborn or a lot of little children or single mom. That can be a desert experience. Maybe you're just facing empty nest. I have some friends who are going through that right now, a number of them. And for some of those women, that's a desert experience. They've poured their lives into their children, and now, what are they supposed to be doing? They're trying to figure all that out. You may have been widowed recently, or perhaps caring for elderly parents with health issues. Maybe your own health, chronic physical problem. Maybe it's, for you, the desert is an unfulfilled longing for a mate. Or you have a mate, but you have an unfulfilled longing for a child, and God hasn't been pleased to answer that. Maybe it's unbelieving family members who don't understand your faith, and they ridicule you, and that's a desert for you, living with that. Or difficult marriage, or rejection, or abandonment by a husband, or old age, and you're feeling useless, and Lord, just take me home. You see, at all seasons of life, there can be deserts. Now, all this sounds pretty bleak because we've spent 2 or 3 sessions here now talking about the characteristics of the desert. But I want to just remind you that there is beauty in the desert. The darker the night, the more remote the area, the more brightly the stars shine. Now, it's not that the stars are shining any more brightly, to be technical. It's that there aren't competing lights, so you can see better the stars that are shining. When you get into a large city with all kinds of lights, you can't see the stars at night. But you get out into the desert on a clear night, you can see just millions and millions of stars. There is beauty in the desert if you lift up your eyes to see it. And I want to just remind you that in the midst of the hardships, in the midst of the difficulties, in the midst of the danger, in the midst of the prolonged testing, there are some blessings that you will never experience apart from going through the desert. God wants to reveal himself to you. He wants to reveal his glory to you. He wants to reveal his heart to you. He wants to reveal his ways and his grace to you. And oftentimes he will do that in the midst of your desert.